So we had Selenium, we have Appium, we have Appium on cloud. Now we have Valet. Like, where does it really fit, and how you think people would get the right education about it?
I don't know yet. I think sorry, that's the quick answer.
That's fine.
The way I look at it is, and this is why actually I reached out to Lana when I saw she was giving the talk. My original hook to talk with her about this was like getting Appium. I think when I first I got back into Appium Dev a couple or a year or so ago, and it took me like half a day to install and get everything set up. I think specifically testing on real devices is really painful. It's mostly because like it's that spectrum of like what's good for security is bad for automation, and what's good for automation is usually bad for security, right? So it's hard to hook up a real device and automate it because Apple has made you jump through so many hooks or so many hoops. And so therefore the Appium install, half of the difficulty is just because of that, right? And so Lana's streamlined it quite a bit. And then the goal with Valet is like literally plug and play. So part of it is part of it is because you're using accessibility on the iOS side. So it's literally just driving the device the way a person would, either looking at it and just using computer vision to look at the screen, or then using touch or keyboard events. That's one part of it. So it's just like simple inputs. The other part of it is pre-installing everything on the Pi. So it's kind of like in the old days of buying a computer, you had to spend half of the, this is like, no one in the room remembers this, but the back in the day, you bought a computer and you had to spend half a day installing the operating system on there. Now that doesn't happen. You just get the laptop and boom, it's just a welcome screen, right? So the idea would be to get to that. Ironically, we don't have that in testing. Kind of like you turn on the device and you get a welcome screen, basically get to 3 minutes from automation instead of 30 minutes, right? And so there's this kind of aspect of just in that regard, it's complementary to Appium, or should be. Anyway, the other part of it is, I can't remember if I put this in one of my color commentary things. I reserve the right to call some other project that come up with, like, everyone talks about the AI question, right? So I reserve the right, if Appium was Selenium for apps, the next thing would be Cranium, I think is what I'm but I'll like, whenever I figure out what the AI part of all of this stuff is, I'll call that Cranium. But in this particular case, Valet was meant, I've been spending time just focusing on mobile automation this whole time with robots, and Valet is really kind of the end of that journey of figuring out the kind of ideally like the easiest way to automate it.